tell me about this. Well, we didn't get this on air here, but Irina said she just hit 1 million views.
No, I didn't yet.
What?
I said it's like 950.
Well, hold on a second. How did you phrase it to me?
I said, guess who's almost.
Oh, I thought guess who just hit 1 million views.
Darn. Now it doesn't sound as cool.
The almost 1 million.
Yeah.
It's funny that you did that because I always tell you how you don't know how to embellish a good story. Like nobody cares if it's 990 or is it 1 million. You know what I mean? Like you're almost there, so you can't say.
Can't say it's not as glorious.
It's so funny.
Darn.
But nice work.
I'll do it again once.
How many TikToks have you? Because you've been on this new TikTok journey for a little bit. How many TikToks?
It's been like maybe a couple months. What do you think? Yeah.
Couple
Since
months.
January.
For sure. Yeah.
February maybe.
Yeah. Are you liking it?
Yeah, I do like it because I feel like I can kind of showcase my personality a little bit more than on Instagram because my Instagram, I've curated this audience that's a little bit different than on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok's easier because it doesn't have to be like high quality. It doesn't have to be, it's just like under a minute video, which now Instagram has reels. But for me and my niche on Instagram, it takes me a lot longer to make videos with design stuff because I have to, style a shelf, whatever it is, the video, shelf styling, styling my dining table, throw pillows, So.
And then that to me
almost
feels like it's not far from hitting a limit, right? You're like, well, I already
there
did
is a limit, yeah.
Unless you do,
everybody does it.
Unless you do a theme, right? When you're like, well, this is going to be a light and airy. This is a dark and moody. This is a.
Which I hope to eventually find this kind of place where not a lot of people have maybe done it yet, or something that's like my own, because I feel like the stuff that I'm doing right now is very saturated. Everybody's doing the same thing. Styling shelves, how to arrange your throw pillows on your couch. These are my favorite paint colors. Everybody's doing that. But I'm trying to like stay with the pace too. And if I can, why not make the videos? But I do want to make it my own somehow. I think as I'm learning more about it, obviously I just feel like I just started all of this. So
you definitely,
even though I haven't, but really full all in, I feel like I did just start.
Yeah. Well, and we spoke about this too, that you really learn by making the mistakes and just doing it.
Yes,
right. Like,
absolutely.
You got to be okay with hitting a wall
and not producing your best work if that's what it takes for you to learn and grow and keep moving forward. Like there's some videos I look back, I'm like, ugh, it's kind of cringy, but I'm glad I did them and put them out there. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess where I'm going with this is that's all 100% so true what you said. But there's also a thing that I think a lot of people have is they give it their 200% and they do it for a month.
Oh, and then
then they go, they get so disappointed by the low numbers, which I kind of creepily like check up on you.
Creepily?
Yeah.
Like a creep?
Like a creep, yeah. Is that not a real word? Creepily?
I don't know.
Anywho. That's not a surprise in this podcast. I make reports. I'd like check up on your page and see like what your growth is and stuff, and I'll hear you like get excited, like, oh, this video did really well, and so I'll look and the growth is not like exponential. Like
no, it's very slow.
But what's cool is that you're not getting discouraged by it. Versus, I think a lot of people get discouraged and they go, well, the numbers aren't going up. I guess I'm gonna stop. I gave it my best.
And that's the majority of people.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, majority of people. Yeah. And I did have a few of those moments, but it's like you either stop or you keep moving forward, and eventually, even if it's slow, you're growing. And so that's what I'm seeing right now. It's like a very slow but consistent growth on Instagram.
Absolutely.
TikTok's kind of the opposite. It's
we're talking about TikTok right now.
No, I was talking about Instagram.
Oh, well, we're talking about your TikToks that you're making.
No, I feel like it's the opposite. I just started on TikTok and I have, what am I at now? It's not like crazy, but I feel like for just starting, I have now one video that's almost at 1 million views, and then 2 other ones that are like 300,000. But it brought up my following. I now have 1,200 followers
on TikTok.
Yeah,
that's incredible. That's awesome.
So I hit my 1,000, but it's all from like that one video.
Well, yeah, I mean, that just goes to show like you got to keep producing until you hit something, and then I'll boost you quite a bit, and then.
But that's what I mean by TikTok. You get these boosts of followers and likes and views with your videos. And it could be a video that's been sitting there for a while. I feel like I haven't seen that with Instagram. I've only seen these very slow, every once in a while, at least with my design stuff. I haven't seen anything like blow up.
Kyle, was it you that I was talking to that had something sit? Maybe it was a reel that sat there for a little bit, and the next thing it started going up.
And it'll sit, and then like it'll just randomly.
Yeah.
Like a month later, like the algorithm pushes it through.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that on Instagram. Besides on our next door neighbors page, which is the same type of stuff that I post on TikTok, which is interesting. So I've noticed, because I think it's so saturated with design and decor and home stuff, the algorithm is not like noticing me. So I'm not being like pushed, even though I feel like some of my videos were pretty good.
Well, sure. It's like starting an Amazon account. You're not going to be on the first page.
But on our next door neighbors page on Instagram, there's a few of the videos I posted have done really well.
Really?
One of them is like at almost 700,000 views.
On our Instagram account?
On our Instagram account. And that brought our following up a lot.
We're
almost
homie?
at 1,000 followers.
What's up? Look at you.
And then that same video that did really well on TikTok is now trending, like going up views.
So why do you think that is? Do you have any theories?
I think people like watching those videos more than they like watching how to design. They're just, it's the entertainment aspect, and people like to laugh.
In all honesty, I think, and this is not to be sexist, but there's boys are better than girls. No, I'm kidding. No, statistically,
but boys have cooties.
True. Statistically, I think I heard that more users on YouTube are men, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, there's more creators that are possibly men. Maybe that's not the case, but for sure, more men consume YouTube than women. And that being the case, I think there is maybe like the design space. I think that a lot of the gals that are there now, I haven't checked the competition on all that stuff, but I've seen your stuff and all. I think you girls can create really cool designs, but there's such a learning curve for like captivating a person's attention and retaining that attention and presenting it, right? So like Martha Stewart killed it, right? So I bet you if Martha Stewart didn't have her show and she started, let's say, just a YouTube account, she would crush it because she knew how to, or I don't know how
to captivate,
and how not to. Like you look at, the old scroll rule, right? You go on anybody's Instagram page and you start scrolling, and the first 3 scrolls is like what decides whether or not you're going to follow them, right? Like if it's something up your alley. And the majority of like design stuff, almost every picture is a replication of another picture. What I mean by it is there might be different rooms,
similar,
but they're such similar colors and they're similar, like light, bright, airy green. You know what I mean? No other picture is different. You can go look at a car account. And let's say it's all exotic cars. Well, every car is so different. This is a bright cherry red, low to the ground. And this one is this, green emerald colored. Every picture is completely different. So it's as different as looking through a magazine. But if every picture is almost just the same thing, but in a different room, it kind of gets played out after a while. So I think there's somebody in your guys' space that needs to, maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else, but they need to come up with a way how to shake that up, right? So make, whether it's personality, whether it's the style of video making, maybe it's personality, I don't know what it is, but
it's like, how do you shake it up if you don't want to change the style of your home?
Correct. So here's a great example for the DIY space. Originally, the space started with people creating coffee tables, dining room tables, right? Desks. Practical things, nightstands for their house. And I did the same thing as well. And we did voiceovers. And then eventually the market gets overly saturated and nobody can really, unless you're the big wig on top, nobody can break through, right? So then you go, well, what else can I do? How can I shake things up in the world of DIY space? Well, don't make dining room tables, coffee tables, and nightstands. Make something that the other creator doesn't want to do. Like the barrier of entry has to get bigger, right? And so at that point, and I'm not saying I'm the first one that did it, but I was definitely one of the few people who kept doing it constantly and kept repeating that formula, where I went and did the long, big projects, home remodel stuff, time and time after again. And then that made me break out of that, 20th page of YouTube or a 1000th page on Instagram to kind of surface to the top. And now the algorithms are promoting my stuff to what I'm more searchable, I guess now. And I think that's the same thing you guys have to do is I think you guys are all doing the same thing that everybody's doing, the same way as we started in DIY.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You guys have to break through.
Mm-hmm. That's why, for me, it's just like this slow growth. There's nothing, but it's also.
But if you keep repeating that, you're just eventually not going to be anywhere. I mean, you're going to stay in the slow growth unless you figure out a very inspirational or a very transformative way how to present design. That's, I think, because you can continue doing this, and it will grow the same way. Okay, the podcast YouTube account is a great example of this. The numbers are going up, but they're slow. They're not going to be explosive until something controversial or a big guest comes up. Yeah. That is the only way there'll be a big influx in viewers. And that's how podcasts, they work, right? A new podcast will be started. You get some of the biggest people that you can get on it. You break that down into clips and sound bites, and all of a sudden you got people exposing to your podcast, and it's an exponential growth. When you're just doing the same, not the same thing, but if you're kind of doing the same thing over and over, which like I feel like we are, those numbers are gonna slowly creep up, consistently but slowly. So the big question for you is like, you can either stay in the slow growth and eventually kind of get tired, or you start kind of questioning, what can I do to have that exposure?
I've been questioning that, and I have not come up with anything.
Yeah, no, you did. No, but you did. But you also, by doing that, you, like, let's say we're just going to talk about your TikTok, right? You kept putting TikTok videos out. They didn't do anything. And then, but you kept doing it, and you kept going, I thought that was a great idea. It didn't work. That sucks. Okay, on to the next idea. And then it exploded. You know what I mean? And so, like, you just have to keep doing it.
Right.
And keep, I guess the people who make it are the people who are so, not stubborn, but they're so resilient.
Yes. And don't let that, like,
they constantly like lose sleep going, how can I be different? What can I do differently? Why did that work? Especially, like, sometimes it's good for you when you go, man, this project's going to be a banger. Like, this video is going to pop off, and it doesn't. Yeah. And then you get discouraged and you go, no. The formula was right. What did I do wrong? Like, well, what about your thumbnail? Was it captivating enough? What about your titling? What about your hook in the very beginning of the video? That stuff starts becoming very relevant, and you lose sleep over it.
The details.
I was one of the best podcasts I listened to, not the best, but like a huge one for creators was on Rogan's, was Mr. Beast that was on there, right? This YouTuber who is, I think for 2021, he was the number one producing YouTube content creator.
Like fastest growing, I think, too.
Fastest growing. I think he's like 200 million subscribers across like a bunch of different channels, millions and millions of views on every single video. And he was just sharing a story how he started. He obsessed about YouTube since the age of 11. And then from 11 to to 19, 18, from 11 to 18, nothing really happened. And things started actually happening when he was 18. So for 7 years, he was just grinding it out, just obsessed. He graduated college. He went to college, community college. And somebody, I'm sure, listened to the podcast already. But his mom forced him after graduating high school to go to community college. And he didn't go, but he fooled her that he was going. But really, he was sitting in his car editing YouTube videos. Like, he was so obsessed about it. But now he goes on record saying, like, I figured out the formula how to go viral. Like, I know how to do it. And I think that happens.
Did he share?
Yeah, he shared it. But the thing is, nobody wants to. His formula is not easy. That's the thing.
Well, of course. Otherwise, everybody would be having millions of
it's not a secret.
Subscribers.
I mean, it was a secret because nobody really knew. But when he explained it, you're like, oh, duh, that makes sense. But it's really hard work that a lot of people don't want to take on. So the way he explained it was, you have content creators, YouTubers who they're like a small team, like maybe it's a single person who's shooting and editing and all that stuff. And their budget is probably like $500 to $1,000 per video, whatever it is, right? And then you have a different group of YouTube videos, content creators like Mr. Beast, who have like a budget of $500,000 that they would spend recreating some kind of scene or whatever, or giving away through a challenge, buying a $100,000 car, giving that away or something like that.
Right.
So his concept is like, think of the wildest thing. Surprise my friend with his dream car, adopted 1,000 dogs. gave away $100,000 to a complete stranger. These are wild things that all of us would, if we saw that on a magazine, we were like, I got to see this. Is this true or is this just clickbait? And it turns out it's not clickbait. People want to watch, especially when you figured out how to keep the attention span and the pace. The people who are doing videos for $500 and $1,000 budget, the stuff that they're creating is probably not going to be as transformative as that or as captivating.
But what if you're starting and you don't have the money to give stuff away or create these like huge videos that cost thousands and thousands of dollars?
Well, he was actually asked on another podcast that I was watching on YouTube, and he was again elaborating more on this concept. And again, it was nothing new that he's already shared. And he was asked this very interesting question. He said, because a lot of his stuff is like challenges and giveaways and stuff like that. These games, and he was asked, he said, if you were to start all over, like YouTube all over again, but you can't do challenges and you can't do giveaways, how long would it take for you to get to 1 million subscribers? He's like 3 months. He's like, what would you do? He's like, well, I'd probably maybe like do a video where it's like I walked across the whole United States in my flip-flops or something like that. Like something so bizarre. When he first popped off on YouTube, do you know how he did it? He did these videos where he's like, I repeated a word for 24 hours straight.
Oh, yeah. I remember
and you
that.
see these videos. I mean, you might as well be watching an ISIS beheading video because it was so like torturous. You see this guy with the camera just pointing at him with this crappy quality, and he's like, you know, repeating whatever word, apple, 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 apple. And then you see him like after like 12, 14 hours, like an insane person, like frustrated and sleep there because he has to start or then he'll count to a trillion or something like that. And then he screws up, then he has to start all over again. Like it's such torturous mind stuff. Or one he said, you know, I'll maybe do a video, I swam from United States to a different continent, whatever. And I don't remember which one he said, but he says it's like a 4-mile swim. He's like, I trained for that. It would be miserable, but I would do it. Meaning you have to be so obsessed and the ideas have to be so crazy that you can still get a project that doesn't have, you know, $500,000 in it. But these ideas nobody wants to do because they're so hard.
Risky.
It's so hard, you know? So it's like, think about it, my space right now, right? The space that I'm in the home renovation, DIY space. I'm pretty sure if I was to take his formula and let's say, how do I apply it to my kind of content? Well, what if I did a video where I built a house from scratch and up and gave it away to a stranger? I'm sure if we did the thumbnail correctly and we had the hook and the pace properly, I'm sure that'll get multi-millions views. But do I want to go build a house by myself and give it away? No, I don't. Like I don't have the infrastructure right now to be able to pull that off. So there's
also that
recipes.
risk of like when you're spending that much money on a video, what if it doesn't do very well? Like
it's very true. Yeah. It's very true.
You had a couple of videos where you did stuff for like
other people,
somebody else. And it didn't do as well as you hoped or thought, and it's kind of like this feeling of like.
So I was looking back at it again after doing this deep dive on Mr. Beast, and I was like thinking, so I've tried a few of these philanthropy kind of ideas, right? Surprise a single mom with a custom table and cash, or surprised a veteran with a remodel. I think those were great ideas. I think I just didn't execute the correct way. What I mean by it is, I think the formula is there. They're heartfelt. They're great.
Those videos do well a lot of times.
And maybe we shot it in a proper pacing, but the thumbnail was not catchy enough. Like, and there's so many things.
Do you think you do that again?
I think
knowing what you know now, because now it's been like
I think so.
A couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll gradually get up to it. I think I'm gonna still focus on. There's a few things that I want to try to like slowly see case studies if this kind of shock and awe really is kind of working. But yeah, I'll definitely do some philanthropy kind of stuff to do some do good videos and use them. But but so it's the obsession. I mean, that's one thing I learned from Mr. Beast is like, how badly do you want it? If you're like, it's too hard to, I'd rather stay in my comfy job, I guess it's not for me, then okay, fine. But if the answer is like, no, I want to be the best, I want to have this kind of life, then it's the ball's in your court. How hard do you want to work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's cool. So today you started shooting your first YouTube video. Tell me about that. What came from that?
I'm trying to keep up with you.
So, but why YouTube video though? Because I remember you never showed any interest in
You've told
video.
me to start YouTube videos for the last, I don't know, 5 years maybe. I just felt like, I don't know, I had a lot going on, and I just never felt like I had the like personality for it, the experience, like whatever it takes. I just never felt that way. And you know me, I'm like I don't like the camera. It was just a lot. I just wasn't confident. Maybe that was a big part of it.
So what changed?
I think just in the last maybe 6 months, I don't know. I've got this more of a confidence in like, well, why can't I do that? Why can't I? Everybody's doing it. You know, I now have started into like, I think even like my TikTok videos have kind of boosted my confidence a little, because those ones have nothing to do with design, but I'm like being vulnerable and showcasing like my personality, knowing that I'll get some negative comments. I used to avoid that in being on camera for that reason. And I think that's now that I think about it, one of the biggest reasons I never got into YouTube, because I know how mean people are, and I don't want to get ripped apart for like something I say, or they don't like my styling, or somebody doesn't agree with me. And I was always so scared of that, because I'm such a people pleaser. I can't stand when people don't like me or something about me or something I said. But now I don't know. I feel like I just don't care as much.
And that just came out of nothing, or is it because
no, I think it was a slow growth
making
there.
TikTok videos kind of gave you a little bit of a boost, where you put yourself out there, and it was kind of
and now I know even the negative comments, like there was definitely some, but I kind of now expect them, and I think that's what's helpful, because I know they're gonna come. I know I can't like create, if I want to be in this world, I will not be immune from negativity. And now that I kind of expect it, sometimes I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. That comment wasn't that bad. And kind of just, people are just going to say what they're going to say.
So you're reading comments?
No, every once in a while when I like open the app and it shows you your, this is on TikTok, and it shows you your notifications, I'll like click on it, because you have to click on it to get rid of it. The red little.
Are you sure? Because I don't do that.
You don't do that at all?
No, it just pops up like Instagram on the very top.
Right here, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I do that, but it's like it's a flash of a thing. I like.
Yeah, but then like once I click on it, I mean, you see, I just like will read the first one.
Let me see if that happens with mine.
And I mean, people have said like they're not.
You know how you open it?
TikTok.
So okay, so I guess here's the difference. I don't even click on that inbox.
It's just always red.
It's always red.
Oh, I don't like that. I need to like clear it.
No, because I don't know if I've.
You just have so many.
No, but I don't read. Just
Yeah, I think I just like to clear mine, and so I don't like having that red little bubble.
Clear it and get out of it. Don't.
I know, but every once in a while, I like will look at a comment, and for the most part, people are like supportive or laughing. But I've had a couple where people were like something about you're an idiot if you keep hitting the curbs, and then like there were some people that said like, those aren't rims, those are wheels. Because I said, what was my caption? When you scratch your rims, but you don't want your husband to notice. And people were just like, I had so many comments saying, just use a black Sharpie.
Black Sharpie. That's smart.
But I can't, because the part that scratches is the silver part. Yeah. Can't do that. So YouTube, I think that was a big part of it, because I saw how in the beginning it kind of messed you up to read the comments, and I know now I won't like even read the comments, because you don't go to that place. But I just know how much it did affect you, and I was like, there's no way I will never do YouTube. It's just not my like realm. And now it's like I'm dabbling, I have like TikTok. I have 2 Instagram accounts, 2 TikTok accounts for my design and for our next door neighbor stuff. And then I'm like, well, why can't I? I might as well, if I'm already making videos for Instagram Reels. It's like, it just was, why not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Why not? I'm glad you're doing it. But you gotta treat it like a machine. You can't. It's funny, because like I used to think, well, I need to read them because I want to see what the people say. I want to give the people what they need, or what they're asking. But the reality is like,
impossible, yeah.
so let's say, okay, YouTube for me is what, 650,000 subscribers. But your reachability, your reachability of like your impressions of or how many views maybe you got, that include people that don't subscribe to you.
Yeah, right.
Could be in the millions, right? Depending what kind of video you did. So let's say out of that million people, you have access to you who will write an opinion to you that have nothing to do with you, your life, don't know anything about you, and they've stopped their day and
to comment.
They paused the video, went down and on their keyboard wrote some stuff that are multiple sentences.
That boggles my mind.
I love that people comment because it helps with the algorithm and all that stuff. Instagram's a little bit different because Instagram, it's a shorter communication. Most of the time it's like fire emoji, love what you did.
Yeah, it's quick.
But to write this extensive thing of negativity to somebody that you need to be heard, to me, it's like, that's psychotic behavior.
And so many people do it.
It's so many people. So it's like the most adult way of playing, which is not adult, but as an adult on social media, ding dong ditch.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because you don't get the consequence from it because the person will never see you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It is like, ha, gotcha. Bye.
So you can't be like, I need to go. Now, let's say if you do want to be like, okay, I want to be making sure I'm helping out the algorithm, especially when I'm starting out. When YouTube came out with the feature where it's like auto-generate a response, right? Like the AI will pick up, doesn't do it on all the questions or all the messages, but on some of them it'll pick up like, like they'll say, that looks awesome. And there'll be like 3 responses. Thanks. And then like, awesome or glad you liked it. Oh. And then you can just click that. So that's one thing you could do for that kind of thing. Just like scan like the auto response. But man, especially after 12 hours, do not read your YouTube stuff.
Yeah, kind of learning. But I think over time, that's what I've realized from watching you do YouTube. That's like you put out your content, you don't look at the comments.
You post and ghost.
Post and ghost. I like it.
Post and ghost, man. That's the only way you can. Because the thing is like, no, okay, so I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now, and I'm constantly learning more and more things, like not only from creating videos of the storytelling and the pace and the hook and all that stuff, but I'm also learning. I'm losing my train of thought where I was going for this.
I'm learning.
What was the question?
The question was YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Blanked it on that.
Lost it.
I don't know.
That's okay.
There's too many things.
Yeah, I feel like I also typed in the search bar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, sorry. I just remembered.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm learning. I'm still making mistakes, meaning like building mistakes. Like, there'll be a gap in the trim or something like that. Like the shiplap, there'll be a little bit of spacing gap on top, or the video that I got chewed out hardcore, apparently, because I didn't read the comments, but you told me this, is the laundry, the mudroom, the cabinets on top, the doors didn't line up with the doors below. And I anticipated that, but I thought because they're different shaped doors, they're not, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's but apparently I got lit up in the comment section. But so let's say from that point, I go to the next project, the laundry room, and there's a little bit of a gap in the shiplap. I embrace making mistakes because mistakes make us better. I'm even wearing a shirt. Mistakes make us better.
Mistakes make us better.
That's my merch line. Go check it out. That's not a plug-in, but that's just convenience that happened. But I know that I will forever have somebody in my videos write some hey, eyes up here. No,
I'm just looking at it because it's like the S is cut off.
I know.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's all like slanted.
That's awesome.
The mistakes are going to happen. And I'm never going to make a perfect video with a perfect build. There's always going to be somebody who's going to catch something. And I know there's going to be imperfection somewhere. But I can't get caught up on that. I have to be able to just go, mistakes make us better. I'm going to learn something from this for the next project.
Right.
And make sure it doesn't happen. But I'm not going to allow for that person to make me feel bad because I put myself out there.
Yeah.
You have to treat it like a machine if you want to, play the game.
Right. Otherwise, you won't succeed in it.
No, you'll get eaten up alive.
Yeah. and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. No, you stay away from those comment sections.
Yeah. Do you when you're on TikTok, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. When you're scrolling through, do you hit like the like button or comment on anybody's?
So TikTok is interesting because it's so easy to engage in, like the double tap on the screen. So here's what I do, because I appreciate other content creators, right?
Yeah.
And so I usually just scroll. That's all I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I like, if something makes me laugh, and I've done that so many times. If something like I'll scroll, I'll be like, haha, and then I'll scroll again, and then I'll go, no, I gotta give them
like
props.
that, yeah.
I'll come back and I'll double tap that because I don't leave comments either.
Yeah.
But when somebody makes me laugh, I'm like, no,
deserve a heart.
You deserve, and that's such a little thing.
Yeah.
But from a content creator to another content creator, you're like,
especially
game
because you
respects
know
game.
how, yeah. But I've been doing that too lately. I think when I first started, I would just like scroll through and then I'm like, well, if this is like genuinely making me laugh, then they deserve a like.
100%.
Because then it's like you appreciate when you get those.
And it's such a funny thing because you can listen to a stand-up comedian, right? Even let's say a YouTube clip. There's a build-up to a joke, right, in comedy, right? So there's usually like a premise they have to, like they're dealing with. So they're gonna set you up. They go, oh, so I was traveling the other day, and then they're building up what the scene was, and then eventually you get to the punchline of the joke. But that took at least 2 minutes, sometimes maybe even 5. With TikTok, it's different. It's such short-form content. That somebody could make you laugh in 15 seconds. And I really appreciate that.
And it's like, move on to the next thing.
I was like, you figured out a way how to
quickly,
like concisely make me laugh.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Well, think about this way. Your TikTok of the scratch rim that's going viral, it got to the point and relatability and humor within 30 seconons. Right? That's very impressive to be able to do that. And I think it's being
creative and like coming up with ideas where you're like, oh, this would be funny.
I learned from Mr. Beast's his podcast when he was talking that a lot of times we always hide, and I did this myself too. We use excuses of like we say words like the algorithm doesn't like it, the algorithm is doing something weird, it's not promoting it, the algorithm. And he's like, instead of using the word algorithm, change it with audience. And instead, so it's the audience didn't like it. The audience didn't engage. The audience didn't engage. You're just studying human behavior. What keeps people engaged or captivated or entertained. And that's what you do. So don't hide behind the word of the algorithm. No, you just create crappy content. And that applies to me. It's like, my content sucks.
A broader sense, the algorithm really is the audience. That's what the algorithm is. They figure out what people are liking.
YouTube only wants to present the best stuff to their audience, the best videos. Because if they present the worst videos or the crappy videos, then that person is not going to want to go to another video.
Yeah.
That's how the machine is designed, is they want to give the best product, and the best product is the video.
You scrolling.
Correct. That's
on
why
the page,
that's why clickbait doesn't work anymore. Clickbait, when it was first started, you can trick somebody and get a quick little view, and you go, I gotcha.
People figured it out.
But now you do one clickbait video, and good luck having any of your other video service. Like, you get penalized.
YouTube is like, no.
There's numbers. There's audience retention. There's click-through rate. A lot of that stuff, how many hours of it has been watched, there's a lot of that goes into it that people don't understand.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of YouTube. Is like people who comment usually don't know anything about the world of YouTube or whatever content you're doing. So
tell me how your first video you were shooting today went.
I thought it was good. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to re-record a few things, but I was trying to, I know you said pace is a big part of.
Huge.
So I was trying to be like quick and like really energetic. And then I'm hoping to do like, I did how to style shelves, because also when I Google or on YouTube searched how to style shelves, there's not that many like great shelf styling videos, especially for like what I was looking for. I wanted like 5 like secrets to styling any shelf. A lot of them are like, this is what you do first, this is what you do second. I wanted one that was just like, this is like, you can use it for like anything, And so I scrolled through a few today, and I didn't see a lot that I found were like, I mean, some of them were helpful, but a lot of them were also slow.
So let me
and that's one thing I thought of. I was like, this is what Alex is talking about. It's not engaging me. It's like not captivating me because it's too slow.
This is what every video starts of people who don't know YouTube. It goes, hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to style shelves. A lot of people are intimidated by shelves because they don't know maybe where to start or where they want to go. You're like, just get to the freaking shelf.
And that's what I did. I was just like, here are 5 secrets styling any shelf. And then like I cut. And I was like, because I know Alex, I know this is what you're supposed to do.
Do you know how many YouTube videos I clicked on? And I mean, God bless their soul. Where there's like, it's a truly tutorial thing. Like, let's say I'm dealing with a car. And it's
such
like,
great content.
How do I remove, my brake pads on a truck? You'll have this guy who's very knowledgeable, and it's like everybody's dad with a GoPro, and he's talking for 6 minutes before you even change the angle.
I know. It's those quick cut scenes where like even if you're in the same angle, but you have to just cut just enough where it's like, what is it? What is it called?
Well, it's pace. It's all pacing,
but
right?
Anyway, I kept that in mind like the whole time. So I think
like even your camera angles, there's a reason why Kyle's running that switchboard right now where when I'm talking, the camera's on me. When you're talking, the camera's on you. If we just put one camera here and it's just both of us in it, you'd get really bored, just having this conversation. So that's why, like, even if you're just looking at the camera and it's just you talking to the camera, have a camera A, that's your camera A, but also have a camera B to the side and maybe a camera C on the other side. And that way you can talk to here for 5 seconds and then it can cut to this camera looking at you from a different angle for 5 seconds and over here. And that's enough to be engaging and you never had to move.
Right. That's a good idea.
These are all paces.
So are you going to get me more cameras or?
I'm not buying you more yet, but I'm very excited to roast your first
I didn't
YouTuber.
do any like angles, but I was hoping to do is share the tip really quick, and then while I'm still talking, kind of like a voiceover, have it pan to what I'm talking about while I'm speaking really quick, and then come back to the next tip. I'm hoping to do like 5 minutes. We'll see.
Kyle, do you want to roast her channel first, and then I'll roast?
Should we do it on the podcast?
I'm excited to see your first edit too.
I need to edit it, first, because it's I have a lot of bloopers.
Do you remember when I first started?
I also feel like I need to make a blooper reel because I did a lot.
Blooper. We'll have them in the end. I think they'll be fun for your audience. I like when we capture some of the bloopers or the Patreon.
So what do you do with those? You just kind of put them at the very end?
If you're gonna do them, Kyle just puts them in the end.
You wouldn't do like a separate video?
For bloopers, no. There's no point. That's the bloopers are more of like the way I appreciate how Kyle does it. It's not really bloopers, but it'll be like the bonus content for Patreon, just to show that there's gonna be a lot of
I see.
Like a little trailer for it. So the video will be done, and then he'll do like a 15-second little trailer of like what some of the stuff that you might see in the bonus Patreon version. And it's fun because a lot of times it's like screwing up saying something or
people like that, appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm also entertained by it, so I think that just kind of
I forgot I did that.
It makes a video kind of wholesome. I love watching bloopers. I wish we did that more often, Kyle. Like where we just capture like the bloopers. I just know it's more work on him too.
It's a longer video. It'll make it longer.
Well, not only longer, but it's just like he has to go find that
all your mistakes.
The mistakes. There's a lot of them. Shouldn't be hard, right? I think it's entertaining. I think right now, as you're starting, the name of the game is keep your videos short, keep your pace up, and then show more personality. And by putting bloopers in the end, you're putting personality. And then from that point on, track your audience retention. And then from that point on, as you're keeping people at that 50% minimum of the video, then start stretching.
I'm like, obviously, I have to start out strong because I can't just make a video and then wait like 3 months to make another one. I have to do like a lot, especially to be able to consistently grow in the beginning. Because it's like, I know that right now starting a YouTube channel is hard because you have to find yourself in the mass of people and be searchable and, have people.
Like thumbnail is ginormous. Thumbnail is probably the most important thing second to good content, right? Because this is why I said like I had some great ideas and I think we filmed it well, but the thumbnail I think we neglected. I neglected, and so I think that's
so. Tell me what makes a good thumbnail.
Well, I think I'm only now learning what makes a good thumbnail. A good thumbnail, I can right now actually recall a good thumbnail and a bad thumbnail of my channel as of recently. I did a video maybe 5 videos ago where it's that breakfast bar, the buffet, built-in buffet section, right? It's decorated great. It's built wonderfully, but there's a lot in that picture with trinkets and all that stuff, and then me, and then now text, that an average person scrolling on their phone or on their smart TV, they don't know what this is about. They just see a hodgepodge of things, right?
Oh yeah.
But then you look at let's say, again, because we're on topic of Mr. Beast, you look at a Mr. Beast thumbnail, it'll be like very simplistic. There's not even text on the screen for the most times.
Really?
Like, yeah, it'll be like a hyper concentrated picture of him, maybe like reacting.
The text is just the caption or
in the titling. Yeah, the titling. And then the thumbnail has to basically tell you what this thing is about before you even read the title, right? So like, you surprise somebody with something, right? It should be a surprised face and then the thing, but they have to be like so front and center that there's like overlapping on each side, and it has to be super deep in color and captivating on that part. So like, again, that is one bad thumbnail that I have. One good thumbnail that I have that I'm proud of is the gaming desk, because the gaming desk showed me, because I'm surprising the kids with it, so it shows like a close-up picture of me, so you know what's happening. You see this like gaming desk with tons of LED lights, like illuminating thing, like a spaceship, and then very subtle text, which again, I put text on that one, but there's more, like you have to simplify it more and more for the person to get the idea of, like, you're almost like, how you go, I was gonna say fishing, right? Because you love to fish.
I love fishing. It's my favorite.
But fishing, the reason I went with fishing is because if you use lures, right, those little things you put on to bait the fish with, right?
Let's say, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I'll try to explain what most of the time they're super sparkly, right? They're hyper colored and all that stuff.
Want to go, ooh.
There's jingles on them. It distracts the fish, and I think you're supposed to create a thumbnail that, as a person scrolling through thousands of other videos, this one is supposed to like captivate your attention.
So that makes sense when it's such a crazy idea or like surprising somebody or giveaway, but like what about for like styling shelves? How do you make that so captivating? So
I will say another video that I'm proud of, again, because the thumbnail is, we did a video called not too long ago, 3 ways to build floating shelves. And that thumbnail was very simple. It was,
you just had your shelves.
It was just me, again, concentrated, like highly animated, pointing to 3 tiers of 3 different shelves, and the only text that was on there is beginner, intermediate, and pro. It was so simple, and the colors were so saturated, and it was like I use the word like animated because it's like it's not like a graphic.
It's like contrasty,
but it's so contrasty and bright and vibrant that and simple. It's not busyness. I looked at like
so almost it makes you like, when you have too much text, it makes the person go like, oh, that's too like,
it's
I
too
don't
busy.
have time to read that.
I don't know what that is. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. So there's a perfect balance. I know that. I mean, this is a criticism I'll give you. Like if I was to look at the thumbnails of your
I don't
reels,
read my comments, so don't tell me.
No, your thumbnails of your like Instagram reels. Let's say it's a shelf thing. As a person who doesn't do design, I'm seeing, again, very pleasant colors, neutrals, whites, greenery, and it's such a close-up thing, and text. I didn't know what that thing was about, right? I didn't know if
the text didn't give it away?
Well, the text was not captivating enough. The text was the same colors as the decor, right? So you have whites and tans and whatever, and the text has like whites and blacks and tans. Like the text was almost...
But I don't want to make my... Like, I get it with YouTube, but I don't want to make my page like... I want it to be like aesthetically pleasing with a nice color. Cool. So I don't want to like...
And it could be that without any views. I mean, I like to get views. I don't know about you.
But there's also a lot of really big accounts out there that do the same thing I do, and they get the views. So like, I'll show you. They do the same thing. It's very aesthetically pleasing colors.
Sure.
And so I don't know, maybe on YouTube that's right, but not on...
Well, I don't know if these thumbnails really help anything on Instagram, right? Because the thumbnails like maybe make a person... Okay, so here's how you...
See, like these reels, like you can't even read the text there, but it's... Well, I guess I'll do this one. Okay. Like very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, these are very simple. But also, here's what I tell you. You're like this... looks like completely different. Like the earlier example I said is like not every picture is the same thing, but a different room. Did I say it on this podcast or did I say it to you yesterday? I don't remember.
You said it on the podcast.
Did I say it on the podcast? I don't remember because you and I talk about this off air all the time. So I don't know if I said it here. So this is a prime example. Like this is clearly different parts of this person's room or house, and everything is different, right? Versus I think some of your content I'll see, and it's looks like the same thing, just different angles, and obviously different.
Because I only
rooms.
have I don't have that much to take pictures of.
Well, right, but that's what I'm going with is like even the text.
Like if I want to do shelf styling, there's like only
like
two.
That's like that right there with the sink. That's a great thumbnail because the text is there. It's easy to like read it, but the picture is very simple. Like that's very important.
So you're saying to do like more close-up shots. Close-up
shots. Think of separating the text from the actual busyness of the graphic. I mean, this is boring for somebody to hear right now, but yeah, there's a. I mean,
maybe if somebody's starting out, this is a good.
Yeah, maybe.
Just a little tip, I guess.
There's ways to make text stand out, and I'm not good at that part because I have a graphic designer that does my thumbnail, so I don't. That's there, and they're good at Photoshop too. So I just send them the stuff, and I said, here's where I'm kind of going with, and then they create an edit, and then I go, can we just change this or that or the other thing? But like the graphic designers, they know how to make text pop up. Now, when it comes to just reels and stuff like that, then it's a very simple thing. You just have to figure out just different color contrast and the composition of the shot, and that's really it. YouTube thumbnails are really, really, really hard, and they're very, very, very important. That's the thing. There's usually a thing where somebody can create good pacing and good content, but not good at thumbnails, or vice versa. So you have to figure out how to do both very well, or at least tell that story.
Crazy. All the details really matter. Colors.
Like this morning, I redid the thumbnails for the laundry because I saw the numbers and they were on pace, but I was like, but how can we spin this? Like it will look busy before. So then I had to like simplify it.
So you can just re-upload a thumbnail without
of course.
Change it, like re-uploading the video?
Yeah. You can just always change it all the time you want, as many times as you want. And sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't because it's already kind of indexed in the thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it really does help where it's like, you'll change it and then your numbers go up and then they explode after that. So it's not always lost. Yeah.
It's so interesting to me that stuff matters because in the general terms, like you wouldn't think it would. It's like, it's just a thumbnail. Like if the video's good, it will do good, but no.
Yeah.
Because that's what captivates you in the beginning.
Your job is to make videos that people want to watch. And that's the first thing there's, I heard a statistic, I have to look it up, but how many videos are uploaded to YouTube every day is astronomical. Like,
I bet.
It's in like the hundreds and thousands of, if not millions, of new videos being uploaded by creators every single day. And you're competing for people's attention. Yeah. So you have to create a video that people want to watch. And how do you do that? Well, you start with a thumbnail and then you figure out the content itself. So that's your crash course.
Along with everybody else that gets to hear it.
500 hours every minute.
500 hours every minute get uploaded onto YouTube every day.
Wow.
Every minute, 500 hours. My YouTube videos are roughly between 18 and 22 minutes. And we're talking about 500 new hours are uploaded. Good luck competing for those people's attention.
Yikes.
Your thumbnails better be freaking good, man.
So everybody watch my video so I get the views, please. Mint and Pine Design.
Awesome. Well, hey, listen.
Find me.
I am excited for you. I'm excited that I don't have to force you to do this because before you'd be like, you'd give me a sour face, like I don't want to do it, but fine, I'll do it. And then
I don't like being forced into stuff.
I know. I'm gonna play this one off. I'm gonna roll this one off.
Let it go.
We have company here. But so it's cool to see you being excited about it because that means that when you do hit the lows, you know how to get back up.
Yeah.
I remember you had like a bad day because you were disappointed from your content.
Yeah.
And then you were really bummed and down. I go, hey, you know what? It's okay that you're here, but you just can't stay here. But you have to you allow yourself to experience this today. You can cry and wallow today. So I was like, go have a glass of wine. Today's the day that you
It just sucks that we base so much of our worth off of like.
Well, I don't know if it's
views.
There's people who do.
Maybe not worth, but like how well we're doing, you know?
Well, to a degree should be fair, right? So like what you can't say is we can't base our worth off of likes and views and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why
I feel like it's easy to get there though. Like
that's
it's
why,
easy for your mind to go there. It's
Sure.
like, ooh, I got like millions of views. I got this many likes and this many comments, and you get this like high from it. And then when you don't get that, you get this really low from it.
It should never define your identity, and I think that's why kids should not have it, because their brain's not developed yet.
Yes.
But I think it's a
little bit
completely natural thing for people to experience, because if you're creating content, if you're a content creator, you're not some tweenie bopper. You are a tweenie bopper. That you are an actual person who intentionally looks how to create content that people consume, whether it's an Instagram picture of interior design or if it's a YouTube video of how to paint rocks. You've set aside time to pour out your creativity, bundle it up into a video that you're proud of, and put it out there. And
very vulnerable.
And so when somebody says that thing sucked, that's you taking it personally, that I thought it was a good product. So it's a natural response, because some things do suck, right? Like even, okay, so think about our kids, like they'll have every picture that they bring home, and like, can we put it on the refrigerator? It's like, do you feel like this is of a refrigerator picture? Well, not even that. I was like, do you think this is your best work? Or do you think you can do better? It's like, and they're like, well, I think I can do better. And then other stuff they'll bring, I was like, dude, that's really cool. Let's slap that on the fridge. So I think, though that sounds a little cruel, I think it's a natural concept. Like, you created something. I love how Kyle said this. Like, I remember talking to him about like views and YouTube and stuff like that. And Kyle was like, because I was telling him like, you should create a YouTube channel. You should start, doing all this stuff. And Kyle's like, I just want to make videos that people want to watch. And I was like, that's such a pure way to say it, right? Therefore, if you created a video that he thought people want to watch, and somebody was like, that video sucked, blah, 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 learn how to code, right? Like learn how to edit. Then he's like, but he was attacked where it hurt the most, right? Like, because he put out his heart and soul into it. That's the same way as like, I'll build a project and I put my heart and soul, and people's like, that looks like dog crap. And you're like, well, okay, well, it's natural for me to feel this way, because
it would be the same thing if you created a piece of art, and a bunch of people came to look at it and said, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And it's like, wait a second, I spent so much time and so much of my energy, and this is like my like art piece, my masterpiece. And
imagine us being an up and coming stand-up comedian, and people are like, you're not funny. So you're like, my whole thing is I'm supposed to be funny, and people are saying I'm not funny. Of course it destroys you, because you put out a product that you thought was great, and the audience did respond well to it. Yeah.
So that vulnerability, you do have to,
if you're going to put yourself out there, you got to be ready for this, the painful things, because if you want to play the safe route, then don't be vulnerable. Don't share your feelings, your opinions, or your creativity.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what's the really hard part, is like, not everybody has the same sense of humor. Not everybody has the same sense of style. Not everybody has the same like things they like. And so to want to appeal to a broad audience of people and hope that most people like it is hard, because even like stand-up comedians, like there's certain people you like where I'm like, you're not that funny, but that's just the person hoping like the majority of people do at least appreciate the art, So it's like, you don't have to even agree with the style or whatever they're doing, but appreciate and just like the art of content making, or like even people watching your videos, like majority of them aren't going to go like build that. Yeah. But to be able to watch and be like, that's cool, I like that.
Yeah. F this guy.
Yeah. I don't like the way his wife decorated the shelves, but
or the stain that was chosen for the sliding barn door.
The barn door stain sucked, but I enjoyed watching the video because you look good on the camera.
Thanks. Oh, this has been a great podcast. I like it.
Hopefully it's informative.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm proud of you for getting into YouTube. I hope you find a lane. I hope you find your voice in it. May the gods be in your favor. May the winds carry you to Valhalla. I don't know. All right. Thanks, folks. Make sure you engage. Speaking of the algorithm, leave us a review if you can on wherever you're listening to this podcast. Please share it. Share it with your friends. Tag us on Instagram. We'll repost you. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.